What's going on, everybody? Yo, welcome. Hope you guys having a good Monday night. Hope your weekend was great. I kind of thought, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of thought I'd be here sooner. Been waiting for this announcement for a minute. Huh? Let's get it up. Where's it at? Boom, there it is. There's our announcements for the day. There we go. They look so fine. So fine and so divine. 2024 is rocking and rolling. I'm loving it, baby. I'm loving it. I didn't know what to expect. Didn't know what to expect when Musselman left, and yet here we are. We're almost to May. This son of a, come on, get straightened out now. We're almost into May. We're getting this roster filled out. It's fantastic. We're moving, baby. Let's go, Coach Cal says Wes Brown. That's right. John Oliver, Michael Kerper, what's going on? Justin McCollum says, finally announced. That is correct. Finally announced. It is great. You're looking fine. Oh, stop. You stop it. It's the beard, isn't it? It's the beard. It's always the beard. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. I do appreciate you guys being here, as always. Yeah. That intro, by the way, brought to you by none other than Mr. Travis Ford. That dude, his skills, I've been telling him for a while, bro. Your Photoshop, your editing skills. Oh yeah. I mean, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. Don't you say so? They're pretty good, man. You need to follow him on Twitter. And I'm told, I don't know how much truth there is to this. Don't read the comments podcast. Season 2 on its way. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. Ty's a baddie. Oh, you stop it. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. I do appreciate all you being here. Yep. Aidoo has committed to Arkansas. If you're just joining, it is absolutely not surprising, but still huge. Still huge. There's no other way to look at it, right? So before we go any further, shout out to our sponsors. Of course, none other than Travis Ford's own company. That's right. He's been sponsoring me since I went back going solo all these years ago. He's hung with me. He's hung in there. He's been a great sponsor, and some of you guys have been reaching out to him, getting some work done. That's awesome. That's great that he's able to provide that service for you. If you need some repair or some work done or a garage door replaced, why not give Direct Service Overhead your business? They're locally owned business, small and locally owned, just like yours truly, huh? I mean, my wife, I'm guess technically I'm her property. Better than best results, hundreds of 5-star reviews, free estimates. Just give them a call. That's Direct Service Overhead, Garage Door Company, Central Arkansas and in Northwest Arkansas, 501-244-3667. And of course, speaking of Wes, he's in chat. Insurance Max, baby, the newest sponsor that's hopped on. They offer business, personal, life, and health insurance, retirement. Give them a call. Check out the link provided for you down below. See if they don't have something in store for you. It's harmless. Just click the link down below. Again, that's Insurance Max. They've got your back. They cover all 4 corners of the state, of this fine, beautiful, natural state of ours, Arkansas. All 4 corners. So Aidoo is on board. Arkansas continues to cook. It is spectacular. It is spectacular. And I hope they can keep this going because they still got a lot of spots left, right? They still got room. What's going on, Mike? How you doing, man? If you guys have any questions or comments, fire away. Also, this is a call-in show. This will be a call-in show. So there's the link provided for you down below. Yeah, I've been waiting all day to release this. Like you guys have been waiting on the announcement. I didn't know. I mean, it sounded pretty obvious, especially once the crystal balls, man, they were clanging. The crystal balls were just clanging, and here we are. Here we are. Aidoo has committed. So yeah. This is big. We're going to get into his numbers and all that here in just a second. Lone Sportsman is here. Sup, Hog family, Big Ty, what up? What's going on? Huge news. Yeah, big news. Big news for Arkansas. Aidoo is a pretty special player. I mean, we know he was a big part of what Tennessee did last year, advancing them into the tournament. He played a pretty big role for those guys. 11 points, 7 boards, 1 assist. He's about 52% overall. 6'11", 241 pounds. He's originally from Durham, North Carolina. He's played at Tennessee all 3 years, going back to the 2021-2022 season. And he started to up his minutes his 2022-2023 season, where he's getting about 18 minutes, about 5 points. He took his biggest leap forward this last year. He's considered a top 15, top 20 transfer player, considered one of the top forwards available in the portal. Again, this is a big get. So we're slowly kind of gluing this whole thing together. It's coming together. Now we're still waiting on some names. We're still waiting on some folks. Tenor fans are now saying he was mid. He was mid. When he was going to Baylor, they had high praise. Go figure. Yeah, I saw some of that. They were telling Baylor, oh, you guys you're going to cook here with Aidoo. If he leaves us, we're okay with him going there. And then all of a sudden it's Arkansas, and they're changing their story. They're changing it up. You don't think they will nail us for recruiting violations, Johnny? Man, I hope not. What violations? I mean, what are they? The only thing you could nail anyone with anymore is just tampering. And what do they do about tampering? What do they do about it? What have they done about tampering in basketball? I don't know. I know obviously Will Wade got in trouble, but that was a different era and a whole different scenario. By the way, you see what Will Wade's doing in the portal? Oh my God. He's already landed like 2 4-stars. 2 4-star players. Yeah, they're not. I don't know, Johnny. I think there's always that level of concern, right? When you're cooking like this, when you're cooking like Cal is, there's always that level of concern. Like, is Arkansas or our team, whoever that is, right? I mean, obviously 99% of you are Hog fans. Don't forget about the walk-on guy for the Razorbacks, says Leslie. Justin McCollum, here you go. Boogie Fland, Carter Knox, Billy Richmond, Zvonimir, Jonas Aidoo. There you go. We're still waiting on a couple others. We expect. I think they're going to have at least 1 to 2 more commitments this week. I mean, I'm sure you guys are hearing the same thing. So Aidoo, again, a just huge get for Arkansas. If you guys want to call in, if you got any comments, you want to give some praise to Cal, you want to call in, give your comments, fire away. There's the link. Hopefully they can get the chemistry going quickly. So that is obviously Shark Bait. I love that, by the way. Shark Bait. It's a good movie. Good movie. Finding Nemo is great. That's the concern, right? That was something that Musselman struggled with. That was something Musselman absolutely struggled with. Getting those guys to click early. Now, if you followed Cal, and not like I followed him to a T, maybe you guys did more than I did, but Calipari is known for dominating the high school space. And that's oftentimes, remember when he went on his little spiel about playing older players in March, the team that eliminated them this year, he was 26 years old. Juggling balls. 26 years old. That's what Cal was that's been one of the biggest complaints about Cal, is that he doesn't hit the portal hard enough for Kentucky. It's not like he didn't ever hit the portal for Kentucky, but that he put such an emphasis on high school recruiting. Is Ronnie Brewer, this is a good question, is Ronnie Brewer gonna be on the coaching staff? He's still here. I mean, I don't know. They could change. I mean, they could wait until I don't know, until they get some more commits, and then maybe I don't know. I don't know what to expect out of Ronnie Brewer. I really don't. I don't know if they're going to keep him on or not. I don't know why you wouldn't. Little Rock is producing talent once again. It's starting to produce the talent that it once did. Why wouldn't you want Ronnie Brewer here to recruit that? That's what Ronnie does. There's also been rumors, I don't know how much truth there is to it, but that Joe Johnson apparently was talked about as far as joining the staff, and I don't know if there's anything to that. That's certainly been around in the Discord space and Tusk Talk Discord. I don't know if there's any truth to that. I guess he was following some recruits. You guys again can answer that. I don't follow him on any socials, so I guess maybe I should. That'd be pretty cool though to get Joe Johnson on staff with Ronnie Brewer. That would be fantastic. Yeah, see, there it is right there. I heard from Kevin. Yes, and ISO Joe might be on the staff. That would be pretty cool. I mean, you talk about NBA, and it's not like Cal needs any help in that department. I mean, he's look at the names he's put into the NBA, and the guy that helped him do that is on your staff now, is joined back with Cal. So you just feel like, man, everything's heading in the right direction. And make sure you guys again like, share, subscribe. Wes Brown says dominoes are falling. That's absolutely right. Dominoes are falling. I did see the fight between Bobby Portis. I didn't know who did he get into the fight with? He was he's got that gaze, the eyes, like that man's capable of some violence. And then we saw him get he got ejected. Portis did. Trying to pull something up here. So, what is this? What does Arkansas do? I mean, we're still waiting on. Yeah, they're waiting on Brandon Garrison. We know they're pretty psyched about what he's capable of doing, assuming they can get Brandon on board. Brandon Garrison, if you don't know, was on a visit. He's another big. He's 6'11", 245 pounds. He's a 4-star in the portal. He would be a very nice addition. I mean, again, we knew they're going to go after some size, and we talked about this last week. Like, what's he going to do with all this size? And you've already got the big that he brought over with him from Kentucky, who we expect to make that big step. This Vondermeer. We expect Big Z to take that big step forward, and now it feels like they're kind of building everything else out. I'm hoping. I don't know what they're going to do as far as guards. I don't know how. I'm hoping there's once we get past the forwards and the bigs and the centers, the space takers, the low post guys. I'm hoping that then the concentration goes back. And I'm not saying they haven't offered guards. Of course they have. But I hope we start hearing more and more guards pile up as well, because we know how guard-heavy college basketball is. SEC is very guard-heavy. Pat Beverly, I don't know about that. Just got a football commit. You're full of it. Don't tell me that. Nuh-uh. Did they really? Don't be fooling. I'm looking. I don't see nothing about any commits, so don't you be playing around. We were just talking about this in Discord earlier about how every time I go live, and what's funny is I had this show. We were going to talk about Dominque Johnson, and of course we're still going to, and about Aidoo getting crystal balls, and then just his crystal balls. We're waiting on to see when he would announce, but I figured, forget it. I got to go live. I got to eat dinner at some point tonight, damn it. Here's what you had a year ago. Here's what's crazy. Jalen Graham, Mekhi Mitchell, L. Ellis, Chandler Lawson, Jeremiah Davenport, Devo, Denijay Harris, Joseph Pinion, Keon Menifeld, Layden Blocker, Bay Fall, Khalif Battle, Tremont Mark, Trevon Brazil. Oh, y'all are texting me, and did they really get a commit? Who is this? They just got to commit. Who is this? I don't know. Joe Moore. Is this the kid from Okay. Well, we'll get on top of that here in just a second. Appreciate the text. Wes is already hitting me up, and then I got 2 DMs at the same time. Yeah, we'll get to that here in just a second. Arkansas just got to commit. So, of course, I'm a one-man show here. Let me get settled in really quick. Let me get through this, and we'll get to football. So right now, it's Vonamir, Jonas Aidoo, Carter Knox, Boogie Flan, Billy Richmond. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spots left. And of those, you've really only got 2 true, well, maybe 3 true guards, I guess, even though Billy and Carter are kind of combo, like guard forwards. Boogie Flan, obviously, your point. Of course, we want size. I'm all about some size. I hope you get some length out with the guards. And we're going to see how Cal unfolds this. I kind of thought, I don't know what he does in high school. I really don't. I don't know what he does in high school. I know we got these offers out, and we're still waiting on some players. The ebbs and flows of offseason and of the portal season and of high school recruiting, things change. Things change daily. So we could sit here and say, oh, I expect it to be a mix. We're still going to just continue to mix. But I think it's going to be primarily a transfer portal class. And that's going to be something different for Cal. So, again, that goes back to might be one of his either most balanced or most transfer-heavy teams I think he's ever coached. It's kind of funny how that works, right? Musselman comes in. We have the portal and the NIL era. Everything opens up in 2020. And Arkansas is able to yank pretty good out of the portal, do really well in high school recruiting. And one of the things that I said, what you need out of the next coach, not knowing that John Calipari that Coach Cal was a real option on the table. I said, you've got to get someone who can either balance high school recruiting and transfer in the transfer portal, or just go all in on the transfer portal and hope that you can find chemistry pretty quickly. Because Muss struggled with that. And USC, it's going to be interesting to see how things unfold there. Oh, don't act like you're not keeping up with it to some degree. You're going to. You're going to be watching it. Some of you probably still follow Muss. I had to unfollow because it hurt my heart. Improv tie. What? What does that mean? What are you talking about? Yeah, I guess I'm having to make it up as I go because of this recruit. Yeah, let me get it pulled up. I want to keep talking about Aidoo. I really do. I want to keep talking a little ball, but let me pull up this transfer. Rolling. Well, I don't have everything's not. Yeah, we don't have. We know Anthony Switzer committed. By the way, Anthony Switzer coming out of Utah State, who's a safety at 6 foot, 210 pounds. When did he commit? That was on the 26th. Did we go live for that? I don't remember if we did or not. But Anthony Switzer, a pretty good get. Very interesting, kind of like a Swiss Army knife for your defense. He can play inside the box. In fact, according to PFF, he played primarily in the box. He played and lined up a little bit at linebacker and safety. I don't know what I'm assuming they're going to use him as a safety. That's a pretty good sized kid, 6 foot, 210 pounds for a safety. For a linebacker, that is a little bit smaller. So we had him on our board. We had him on PFF. I don't know why he's not pulling up anywhere. I don't know what the deal is. I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't have this guy on my radar at all. This is the only commit so far that Arkansas did not. Whoa! I better not share that screen. Whew. It's the only guy I did not have a list for. I don't know. Maybe I just missed it. We do have baseball too to talk about. We do need to get caught up a little bit on what Arkansas is going to. I don't have much on Missouri State. I know they're just not very good. But this weekend's going to be huge. Now I'm going to save the bulk of that conversation for Friday. So Illinois Knoll is the kid that committed elsewhere. This is not him. What is going on? Why can I not find anything? Does anyone have this dude's profile? Can someone link it to me in DMs or text if you've got his anything, any recruiting profile on him at all? Because I can't find a damn thing. Is he from a small school? Razorback football commit. This is wild. I mean, I can't pull anything up other than just that kid's DM. I don't know who this kid is. I'm gonna be real. I don't know who this is. This is the very first of all the commits that we didn't have a profile on. It's gonna piss me off. Well, anyways, again, feel free to, if someone has his recruiting profile or whatever, feel free to send it to me. I can't find it. I don't know who he is other than he's an offensive lineman. So when we get more information on him, we'll talk about it. But I don't see him on my list. So if you're in Patreon, if you're in our Discord, don't forget you can go to the portal list. And we already talked about, Arkansas offered Blake Boda, the Coastal Carolina quarterback. We've got his grades, his PFF grades, his very limited passing numbers, a little bit more information below all that. I don't know who this guy is. This one completely caught me off guard. That's why I don't like the stuff happening when I'm played at Richmond, 33 starts. Okay. Well, hold on. Let me go to PFF really quick. Wes is playing the role of producer right now. Appreciate you, man. Let me pull up just to get a little more information on this guy. Yeah, I apologize. This is not someone who's on my list. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Richmond, here we go. Offensive lineman. Offense, blocking. Let's see, regular season. What's his name? Moore? Joe Moore. Yeah, I'm looking. I don't see him on PFF. Trying to get some more snap count. I mean, he doesn't register anywhere. This is wild. Either that or I just need glasses. Anyways, yeah, they got an offensive lineman that I know nothing about. This guy, I don't know. There's so many offers, and sometimes you're going to miss a couple. Maybe I've missed 2 out of all their commits. Well, when we get more information on him, I'll get him in our profile on Discord. I'll give him a profile. He's not even on PFF. Okay. That's going to drive me crazy. Yeah, he doesn't even have a. Okay, well, there you have it. It's why I don't like this stuff happening on the fly. If you don't have, especially when you're caught off guard like that. Anyways, they got there you go. They got it. They got a transfer, offensive lineman out of Richmond, Joe Moore. Yeah, I see his Twitter. I'm on his Twitter. Well, I wish they wouldn't post their phone numbers on their bios. I really wish they wouldn't do that. Kids, come on now. I mean, I know they got it. Them coaches got to get on the phone. Just DM them. Have open DMs and just write in your bio, DM me for phone number if you're a coach. That's dangerous, man. You're flirting with disaster with how sick people are on Twitter. All right, let's go to baseball here really fast. Arkansas is going to play Missouri State. Missouri State's not worth a damn. The big series this weekend is going to be at Kentucky. Really quick, we're just going to gloss over it. Kentucky, who's off to a really good start in terms of wins and losses. They're playing a really good. They're playing good baseball right now. I say that. I think they're in a game as we speak. No. Tuesday, tomorrow, March 26th. Or not March 26th. I mean, yeah, they don't play. Okay, so they don't have a midweek game. They did drop their series on the road to South Carolina, and they dropped to Tennessee, but they swept Bama, they swept Auburn, swept Ole Miss, 2-1 Missouri, but probably their most impressive series of the year is Georgia. They slammed Georgia in game 1, 16-10. 9-3 in game 2, 12-2 in game 3, and this was at home over the Georgia Bulldogs. And they don't have a midweek game. It doesn't look like. They did just drop a pretty they got run ruled in their last game, but they're going to be at home, and they're pretty difficult to deal with. They did drop two out of 3 series to Tennessee at home, but yeah. So Arkansas is going to have Kentucky. Then they're going to come home, play Mississippi State. That'll close out their games at Baum Stadium, and then they're going to go back on the road and play Texas A&M. That's a big series. That is the biggest series of the year for Arkansas and for A&M. Let's be real. Assuming Arkansas can get through these last 2 weeks unscathed, if they can grab a couple series wins. Obviously, you don't want to drop any hype. I call them midweek hype games or hype killer games. You drop one of these 2 against Missouri State, all of a sudden fans start to lose a little bit of excitement. You start to see the pessimist come out. But Arkansas is 37-7 right now. Missouri State, who they're going to play tomorrow. I don't think we have any game change or time changes, but I'm pretty sure game 1. What was it? 5:30. Scroll down here. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, they got 6:30. I'm sorry. Game 1 against Missouri State tomorrow at 6:30, and then May 1st, 4 p.m. God, I love those times. Fantastic. And then they're going to go on the road against Kentucky, and their starting times at 5:30, assuming it doesn't change. 1 p.m. on Saturday and then 12 p.m. on Sunday. So hopefully, I'm all for double headers. I don't have anything against double headers. Woo Pig, there you go. What's up, Philip? How you doing, man? Yeah. Back to the big story, Aidoo. Well, no, we got a lot to talk about. You see those up there, Boss Hog. We got plenty to talk about. But yeah, Aidoo is a really what a get. I mean, you're grabbing space takers, baby, and you love it. You're going to have something that must kind of struggle to do here, and that's a little bit of depth with the guys in the paint. I'm loving it. Again, I appreciate all the text messages and DMs. You guys bailed me out. I'm still shocked that guy doesn't have, I mean, there's nothing on him. There's no PFF number on him or anything. But again, we'll get him added. Here shortly. Dominque Johnson to the portal. If you guys haven't heard yet, Dominque Johnson off to the portal. Now, let's just be real. I mean, this is a guy who has moved to the tight end room twice, even if it was just for like a week. Just someone who kind of hung out, and it's not to say that he didn't have – it's not to say that Dominque Johnson didn't have some good moments here, but I mean, he was so limited, especially last year. Of course, he was coming back from the knee situation. He wore that knee brace as soon as he came back. He never took that knee brace off. Dominic last year ran the ball 31 times for 167 yards, 5.4 yards per carry with a touchdown. And he also caught the ball in the backfield twice for 4 yards. So Dominic's time here, going back, I mean, he got here. He's a 2020 kid. He's going to have, I think he technically has, for sure we know he's got another year. I don't know if he actually has 2 available years or not. You remember in 2021, he ran the ball. I mean, he had a really productive year in 2021, 97 carries, 575 yards, almost 6 yards per carry, 7 touchdowns in 2021. He also had 7 catches for 71 yards and a touchdown. So 21 was like, that's his feather in his cap year. But unfortunately, since then, he's battled injuries. I've always felt kind of bad for him. But, when he came back last year and we were kind of noticing, he looked pretty good in practice. I remember I took some pretty good footage of him running around with that knee brace on, and he looked 100%. And I thought for sure he would get in the mix to some degree, and he kind of did, but not really. Again, 31 carries, 167 yards. It's not shocking that Dominque Johnson hits the portal. It's not exactly surprising, So what does that put them up to now? 7 spots again? Are we back up to 7 scholarships or 6? We know they've got offers out left and right. Well, actually, if you count this kid that just committed, we're gonna have to get caught up on their availability or on their scholarship distribution. So right now they're commits though, with Anthony Switzer being the last. Which was back on the 26th. They also had Larry Worth before that. Now, Larry Worth is a linebacker. I'm assuming if they're going to move Switzer to safety or whatever they're going to do with him, if he's not going to be a linebacker, then I'm going to assume they're still after some more linebackers because that's still a room that needs support. That's still a place they need some support. Now, they offered Trent Hudson, and this is a wide receiver, by the way, but Trent Hudson, 6'3", 180 pounds, just last week, 35 grabs, 10 touchdowns. He is from Stuttgart. Blake Boda out of Coastal Carolina. They offered Cam Rutherford, and I don't have an update on these guys if they've committed elsewhere or not. I know Ilinis Knoll did commit to Baylor out of Texas Southern. He was someone Arkansas had offered, 6'2", 320-pound defensive lineman with really good PFF numbers. His run grade was 87.5. That was his score against the run, and he played quite a few snaps, 42 tackles, 2 sacks, 32 stops, which is a pretty good number, especially for an interior defensive lineman. Bay Jobe, again, I don't have updates on all these kids. I think Tafiq Thomas is the other defensive tackle. I think we're still waiting on something from him. He may have eliminated Arkansas. I don't know. Don't quote me. 6'4", 300 pounds. So we've got a whole list of names of guys that they're after. But the most recent of offers that they did get committed was Anthony Switzer, and, of course, this kid that committed today. I thought Luke Burgess committed somewhere. Did he not? Kid out of Louisville, the offensive tackle. May have to get an update on him. So, yeah. Somtu did commit. Yeah, that's not surprising. But he committed to Georgia. He committed to Georgia and declared for the NBA draft as well. All right. Well, that's okay. Not in the SEC. They voted no. What are you talking about, John? Yeah, SEC football. This portal period, you can't go within conference. Ty and his corn. Okay. Yeah. So with the news on Aidoo getting this commit today, pretty good day. We know they're waiting. We're waiting on some more names. We know there's still some folks that Arkansas after John L. Davis is still one. And from what I understand, Arkansas is sitting pretty with John L. Davis. Or last I heard that they were. I don't know. You know how this news changes on the daily, but yeah. So we just knocked out the portal update and Dom John to the portal at the same time. Yeah, Aidoo, going back to Aidoo really quick. I'm really excited about this one. As I know everyone is. This is a name that everybody was waiting on. Aidoo was a big piece. Jonas was to Tennessee's success last year. Now we know Dalton Connect. Dalton Connect was the big story out of Tennessee last year, but Aidoo really came along for them again. He averaged nearly a double-double, 11 points, just north of 7 boards. He got about 25 minutes a game, averaged close to 2 blocks and an assist. Pretty excited about him. Jonas is that's just a quality kid. I think it goes without saying. I think that's the no kidding comment of the evening. Now, again, they're still waiting on some more names, and we'll have to wait and see. Like I said, I think they're going to end up with probably a couple more out of the portal. I think for sure they're going to end up with a couple more, probably, this week, in other words. Wait, I thought Arkansas was NIL poor. I don't know. I don't think so. Not anymore. Not since John Tyson got involved. Oh, Philip says I don't have info on the new offensive lineman, but FYI, the new Dr. Pepper creamy coconut is pretty tasty. Oh man, coconut is that new? Is that the flavor of the year? Or the flavor? You know how like every year, like last year it was strawberry. They're putting strawberry in Dr. Pepper. Yeah, I'm not shocked about Somto. It sounds like I hate to say this because it always sounds like an excuse, but it does sound like Arkansas backed off. Now, I don't know if that was because he was all in on Georgia and they just knew it was either going to be NBA or Georgia, so maybe that's why. I don't know, but it's not surprising. Oh, it's the summer edition. Okay. Again, if anyone wants to call in, here's the link. Feel free. By the way, legendary status members, your card, you're running out of time. If you're not a Patreon supporter, you need to sign up. You need to get on board. This month's legendary status giveaway is Alex Collins, former Arkansas running back. You've got to be a legendary status member for a shot at that card. Again, that's Alex Collins autographed. So if you want a shot at the card, you got to be legendary status. For Patreon, for the $4 folks, they're going to get Ken Hamlin. If you're a Cowboy fan, or if you know a Cowboy fan, that'd be a pretty cool gift. Ken Hamlin, or just like hey man, check out this card and give it to him. I'm not saying like a birthday gift. That would probably be like, oh, cool, man. Thank you for this non-autographed Ken Hamlin card. I think it's cool. If you're a $4 guy, you got a shot here. And then Joe Ferguson for the $8 crowd. And we may add another giveaway. We may add another card in that mix. I haven't made up my mind yet, but if I do, I'll let you guys know in Discord. So there you go. There's some options. I'm happy we got him, but why did Aidoo leave Tennessee? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm happy we got him, but why did he leave? I don't know. Maybe got tired of. Tennessee did pretty well this year, and he contributed a lot. He was a big part of what Tennessee was doing. Obviously, again, Dalton Connect was him. Dalton Connect was incredible for Tennessee this year, but Aidoo was absolutely in the mix. And he was an all SEC forward, second team. That's what you're getting on board. Now, obviously, we got to wait to see what they do with these remaining spots, but I expect him to be a huge part of what they do in 24. The Spices Coke they had given away. Wait, The spices Coke they had given away at the red white game was good. So that's raspberry. If you look at it on the side, I avoid anything that says spice on it anymore because ever since COVID, I'm dealing with, well, even before COVID, I had dealing with like acid reflux, but and not like it's bad anymore. It's not, but like if it's spicy, and I don't know. I mean, you've got people have experimented with the flaming hot sodas. I didn't know what to expect, and it said spicy on the side of the bottle, and I said, no, sir, I'm not drinking that. No, sir. I didn't know what they meant when it says spice or spicy on the side of the bottle. It just wasn't very good advertising. The bottle's very unappealing. And then my oldest daughter, bought one, and she was like, "Oh my God, this is raspberry." And I was like, "Wait, what?" I'm a big raspberry's like my all-time favorite. So I tried it and I really liked it. And I've actually bought a bottle. What's up, Mike? What's going on, man? So if you're just joining, again, Jonas Aidoo, as you could probably tell by the title of the video, Jonas Aidoo has committed to Arkansas. Dominque Johnson is in the transfer portal, and Arkansas picked up a commit that not very many people know much about. I appreciate the retweets, by the way. John Haas and Philip, appreciate you, boys. So Arkansas, again, going to fill up these spots. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spots left. What do they do with them? Now, I think they're going to go all in on more guards. I don't think you don't have any other choice. I mean, you're replacing, let's see, depending on how you look at Davenport, and let's see, LLS, let's see, Devo, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, roughly 7 guards from a year ago. And right now you've got, technically you could say you have 3. A couple of these guys are more like, forwards like Billy Richmond and Carter Knox. But you do have Boogie Fland on board. But you've got, and the other thing too, you've got some size here. Boogie Fland, who's going to end up being your point/combo guard, is your shortest guy on the roster, and that's 6'2". But Zvonimir is 7'2". Jonas Aidoo 6'11". Carter Knox 6'5". For a guard, if he plays the 3 guard, that's a pretty decent size. I mean, it's about average for that spot, I guess. Billy Richmond, who's kind of in that same guard forward, depending on what Cal does with him, he's 6'6". So we'll see if he does something similar that Muss did and go after some tall guards, some more 6'5", 6'6", some wings. Maybe he targets another point or combo guard out of the portal. But I'm curious to see where they go with these last 8 spots, not just because I think they're going to load it down with talent, but just in terms of roster, like your change, right? Your floor change, your guys coming off the bench. What are these guys going to look like? What's that rotation going to look like? Obviously, the biggest question is chemistry, which is something we undervalued. It felt like we undervalued out of the portal every year Muss was here because they always got off to these slow starts. And then once they kind of figured it out, it was no longer square peg, round hole. You kind of wonder if this is going to be a very portal-heavy class, one of the heaviest Coach Cal's ever dealt with a roster, then how does he then deal with chemistry? Now, if there's anybody who could get some guys to playing well together and finding that chemistry, I feel like it probably would be with Cal, because if you think about it, he had roster turnover every year with all of his freshmen going, to the NBA draft, or some of the guys that he's lost to the portal every year. He's dealt with roster turnover. It's not like he hasn't. It's not like just recruiting high school as well as he's done over the years means that he's only stuck to that and doesn't know how to build chemistry with more transfers. But the difference is these guys are going to be older. Typically, they're the stars from wherever they're coming from or whatever. And so then they get an ego check when they're not necessarily playing in that role they thought they would be playing in, which I thought absolutely happened last year. With Arkansas. Other than Battle and at times Tremont Mark, You know, you had the Layden Blocker situation. Like, why wasn't Blocker getting more minutes? Now, Blocker was a freshman; he wasn't a transfer, but you know, you look at the transfers like Mackay. Of course, Mackay had been here a couple of years. Jalen Graham had been here a couple of years, but then you had Devo, Chandler Lawson. Like, some of these guys kind of got ego checks. And like Brim said in chat, or said in one of the phone call or call-ins we did, a lot of those guys were coming from losing organizations. Is that something that Cal really values? Does he value grabbing guys out of the portal that aren't coming from places that don't know how to advance? Now, to be fair, Arkansas did grab some guys that did advance, you know, from their schools from the previous year, but a lot of them were from losing programs. So what does that look like? Does he go out and can he grab some guys out of the portal who were on tournament teams that went pretty far? Does he go after that quality of a player, or is he just looking for pieces that are going to fit with what he has? And we have a pretty good idea, but we still have a few spots where we don't know what he's doing with, right? Like, there's going to be a couple of guards, you know, he's going to bring in that probably just entered the fold. You know, the window's closing. And right now, your incoming freshmen are good, a good looking bunch so far. And now you're bringing Aidoo. You've got Zvonimir, who already knows. I mean, Zvonimir's here for Coach Cal. There's no doubt. Wherever Coach Cal goes is where Zvonimir's going to go. How does he fill up these last remaining 8 spots? And does he consider guys coming from losing or winning programs? Because that was a very interesting point that Brim brought up in a call-in show several weeks back about how Musk grabbed guys that were coming from losing programs. They don't know how to win. And you remember, how often did we say that in post-game shows last year? Arkansas doesn't know how to win. They don't know how to hold on to leads. They don't know what that's like. Because some of those transfers don't know what that's like. They don't know what winning is like. They don't know how to do it, even if they were the bright spot coming from their program. I think too. I believe that Cal he's gonna stock up on size, and I'm hoping he stocks up on space takers, not just tall players, but guys who actually take up space. Hey Ty, just joining on football, was one of Dojo's biggest fans. Hate seeing him leave. However, our running back room is pretty heavy, and stoked to see Dubes and Jackson lead the way. Yeah. No, I mean, listen, your running back, the depth at running back it appears to be pretty damn strong. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And that was without factoring Dom John into the mix. I hate to say that, but when I would come on here and say, yeah, your running back, the running back depth looks like it's high quality depth here. It appears to be that way. I wasn't factoring in Dominque Johnson. That's not a diss on him. I just didn't think he was going to actually get an opportunity to contribute. He was 6'1", 250 pounds. Those kind of guys just don't, they just don't get the ball. You don't see power backs anymore, especially with high up-tempo offenses where that guy's tapping his helmet. He's wanting out. He's checking out. Hey, I can't do this. You know, I need a break. At least give me a couple plays off, then I'll check back in. I mean, you just don't see. Now, to be fair, Jaquindon's pretty big. Jaquindon Jackson's 6'2", about 235, 230 pounds. You still have a little bit of size. It's not to say that there are no big backs. I'm not saying that. You're just seeing fewer of them. Hell, Braylon Russell's 6'1", 250 pounds. And if I'm being real, I would rather him lose that weight. I would rather me and him both, actually. Me and him both. I would like to see him closer to like 230, 225. But he still ran the ball pretty well. But I think he's a better runner. I think he could be a better runner losing some of that weight. And I think a lot of people thought the same thing about Rocket. Like, Rocket lost a step. Now, again, you can't fault. Last year is just one of those years. Every time we talk about play on the offense, we go back to the offensive line. But even when he had a gap to run through, I'm talking pre-injury, I'm talking all that stuff, he just didn't seem to me like he had that full speed in that first step. like he did back in 2021 or 2022. Sorry. He just didn't. I mean, I don't know what the weight difference was. I don't remember what it was. It might have been just a little bit heavier. I can't remember how much weight he gained from 21 to 22 to 23. But it's okay to have one. They used to call it, like you would say, running back by committee, which is what the NFL is. Hell, it seems like for a while everyone had two backs, and you had your primary running back. And then you had your quote-unquote COP back, change of pace. And it's okay if that change of pace back is someone who fits in with what you're doing in terms of what your offense is trying to do. Maybe you're like the Titans and you run the ball 40 times a game. And that, of course, you have Henry, who is the big back. Your change of pace back would be a smaller back, would be more of a scat back if you're looking to change up the pace. It's okay to have that, right? Two guys that are different type of backs altogether, and that makes it a little bit more difficult for defenses to scheme against, because instead of scheming for a whole backfield full of smaller, bigger guys, it's a difference, right? And that's you saw that in the NFL for years. There'd always be that one power back and then the speed back, or maybe a guy that's kind of in between and then a power back or whatever. And it's okay to have that, but they just don't get, I don't know, you don't see backs over 245, 250 pounds that often. I'm not saying they don't exist. Clearly they do. You had two on roster between Braylon Russell and Dominque Johnson. He's just too heavy. He's too big, and to be fair, I don't know on 3rd and goal, if you're going to ask me who would you rather have, him or Braylon Russell, I'm going to say Braylon Russell. Again, not hating on the guy. I think if he lost a little bit of weight, he could get back to his old self. I think he's certainly got. I think he certainly has it in him to be a special premier back at another school. But he wasn't going to get but 2 or 3 carries here a game. Hell, even maybe not even that. Let's just be real. Dominique, Jaquindon, and Braylon Russell, those guys, those are going to be your primary backs. It feels like it's probably going to be Jaquindon Jackson and Dominique, and then Braylon Russell kind of sprinkled in there a little bit. It could change. I don't know. Braylon Russell at times in spring camp I thought looked really good. It's always difficult to judge, though. Spring camp, you just never know what you're in for. Poor Dominique, man. I hated it when he got hurt. I wish him the best, no matter what he does. I wish him the best, but it's just too many guys back there. Too many guys. Younger players too, by the way, a little bit younger, outside of Jaquindon, who's a 5th-year senior, but Dominique's a junior. Braylon's a freshman, so a little bit younger, and guys that aren't as battle worn. You know what I mean? Few more miles left in them for their college career. Dominique, who's been banged up and dealing with injuries. Again, fully healthy, I think maybe 230, 235. I think he could be a really good running back. And who knows, man? Again, maybe he goes somewhere where they run the strong eye and he's just a monster and he stockpiles yards. Who knows? Wish him the best, though, as always. Woo damn pig, says Alex. What's going on, man? Would you consider Braylon a power back? You kind of have to at 6'1", 250, right? I saw him make a play. It might have been their first not red-white scrimmage, but their first scrimmage that was open to the public. And I think it was a swing pass or something, but he hits the outside corner. And as he does that, don't ask me who the defenders were because I don't remember. It might have been Hudson Clark, and it might have been Bridges, and one other player meet him at the line of scrimmage. And I'm not saying he's Darren McFadden. Remember how Darren McFadden could move piles? I mean, it was crazy. Or Peyton Hillis, could move piles. I'm not saying he was doing that, but he was holding these 3 guys up, and they've got him at an angle, and they've made contact, right? And they're pushing their feet. He's pushing. They couldn't overpower him. And he's got tree trunk thighs. He's got huge legs. I think you would have to say he's a power back, but he has it in him to be more of a finesse type running back. I fully expect him tapping that helmet once they go some up tempo, and you're going to see more of the other two, Dominion and Jaquindon. They are heavier back there. Again, Jaquindon is not small, 235 pounds, but that's still not 250 pounds. Take it from someone who was 250 pounds like 20 years ago. No, it wasn't even, was it that long? No, probably about 12 years ago. There's a big difference between 230 and 250. But yeah, you feel pretty good about what they're doing back there. And we forgot about the other kid too, the transfer they picked up. I don't know why I didn't mention him. You've got the transfer they just picked up. Rodney Hill. Yeah. Rodney Hill, 5'10", 190 pounds. A little bit smaller back, right? Who originally signed with, I think he signed with Florida State. Yeah, he was out of Florida State. 3-star, signed with Florida State. I think he committed to like 3 schools, but he's obviously committed here. 5'10", 190 pounds. He's the one whose pass block grade was really high on PFF, 83.4. Again, if you're a Patreon supporter and you're in our Discord, go look it up. It's crazy. What's going on, Alex? How you doing, man? Hey, if you guys are just joining, make sure you like, share, subscribe. I appreciate all of you. Hello, says nobody. If he doesn't get the 4th and short carries, I will throw. What are you doing? Are you trying to get me thrown off YouTube, Smelly? Oh man. That's crazy. Dominque Johnson is my weight goal. Yeah, dude, I would love to be 252 pounds. Oh my God. I am not 252 pounds. I am certainly north of 250 pounds. Oh man. Yeah, I think if he if he was a little bit lighter, and he's got faith in that knee, I think he could be a really good player. Oh my God, y'all are killing me. Ty, I always knew, this is Sam Jones. I did not proofread this, so I always knew Kentucky was known for thoroughbred horses. Oh God, but who knew they were breeding them with donkeys, creating a surplus of jackasses? We see. Oh, y'all are bringing it. Yeah, you're not wrong, man. Their Twitter is something else. They're wild. That Matt Jones fella, who Arkansas just lives rent free in that guy's head. I don't get it. And then he complains about Arkansas fans being obsessed with Kentucky when you're the one that's obsessed with Arkansas. I don't get it. Saw Richard Davenport. I like Richard. Richard Davenport's one of my favorite people in media. Saw where Richard Davenport reported signing of transfer offensive lineman. Yeah. We talked about that earlier. Well, now see, you're saying from Syracuse. What? You know what? Let's just punch in his name. What's his name? Moore. M-O. Is it Joe Moore? Oh my gosh, y'all are crazy, man. Just crazy. By the way, it is a call-in show. We've not had anyone call in yet. This is why I don't typically do call-ins, but there you go. There's the link. If you want to call in. Well, now PFF's being stupid. It doesn't want to load. I'm trying to find this guy, man. So you're saying now Syracuse? That would explain why he's not showing up on Richmond's. Maybe he transferred from Richmond to Syracuse. Let's see. Syracuse. blocking. Here he is. We got him. Joe Moore. Oh, okay. Pretty good grades. Yeah, he didn't play a ton of snaps. He grades out, and this is against quality opponents, by the way. Clemson, North Carolina, and Florida State. This might actually be a pretty good get, y'all. He didn't play a ton of snaps. Maybe that's why he didn't pop up on my radar. This says he had 29 total snaps. He took, and it won't let me scroll over. Oh, God, BFF, what's wrong with you? It says he lined up at guard 24 times, right tackle 5 times. So he is, sounds like he will be an interior guy at 6'5", 306. His overall pass blocking grade is pretty nice, 82.9. So there you go. Even if you're not a Patreon supporter, you're getting a little bit here. 51.3 run block. His run block grade not overly great, but again, it's difficult to say one way or another whether it's good or bad. It's difficult to judge on 29 snaps. It really is. Oh, we got Unbiased on the line. Yes, sir. What's going on, my man?
What do you say when you're getting married with the judge?
I do.
Ah.
Oh, I see what you.
Yeah. You like that?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's getting hot and heavy right now, don't you think?
It is indeed.
How many players is that now? A total of 5.
Yeah, we just went over it. Yeah, it's 5. Yeah, with Zvonimir, Jonas, Carter Knox, Boogie Flan, and Billy Richmond.
That's correct. Now the next target is, I would say that for me is, some people brought some other ones. The immediate door is Garrison.
Yeah.
Waiting to see what happens with John L. Davis. Because everybody's saying it's either us or NBA when it comes to John L. Davis. That's
I'm hearing the same.
Came back to.
Yeah. Arkansas or NBA.
Okay. So Garrison stayed here. Has Garrison left yet, actually? That's the question.
He was the one that posted that picture on Twitter, and it was horrible. He didn't post the Fayetteville skyline. He posted the picture of I'm pretty sure it was him.
It was like the top of a ceiling of an industry building. Almost.
Yeah, it was not a good skyline picture. Fayetteville's got a beautiful skyline. It's not Little Rock by any means, and he posted that picture. I'm like, oh, bro. Yeah, Pinto was talking about it. I'm pretty sure that's who that was. I don't know that he's left.
And you know what? It's one player at a time. Every time they get their own shine. Because Cal, as much junk as people talk, Cal actually is very considerate about the landscape of college basketball and how he tries to move. I think he's considerate. Because if he was didn't care about nothing else, he would just put himself in the forefront at all times. The stuff about him coming here, he got leaked. So, and he looked out for the teams playing in the national championship. So,
yeah.
But I'm pretty excited about how they're looking right now. When you're filling out this roster, I really wish we could get Brea, but if he goes to Kentucky, I'm gonna.
Yeah, it's looking pretty likely. Nobody says something's up with Aidoo. I don't know what you mean by that. Maybe a bag chaser. Well, bro, I mean, who's not a bag chaser? I mean, they all are. I mean, can you blame them?
Well, you telling me something we already know.
I know. I don't.
It ain't always just about chasing the bag. Chasing the bag can be a factor.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure that there's been plenty of these athletes where they might get offered $100,000 more one place than another, but they chose the other place. They might have got $100,000 less just because of the landscape. All types of different scenarios have probably played out. So everybody always say it's just money. It's just money. I mean, it's a heavy road. Don't get it twisted, but end all be all on every single move, I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, they have. So we brought this up earlier, or I did. I was talking about it, and I brought up something you had said about Muss's team a year ago. I said, you remember when Brim said that Muss had brought players in from losing programs, and how much of that changes between Cal and Musselman? Like, how much of an emphasis does Cal put on that? Grabbing guys that come from winning programs. I wanted your take on it.
Well, was Tennessee a winning program last year?
Tennessee was a winning program.
Now, I've had Tennessee heads because I'm getting every fan base come at me now at this point now, you know. So they say, oh, he's too soft down low. I'm like, I mean, if you're going to compare him to Edie against Purdue, I mean, I guess, you know, that's a fair assessment. But that's the only reason why you didn't make a Final Four is because Edie was in your way, you know?
Yeah.
But I personally said we get him and Garrison at the same time. You want to have different variations of size. A guy that'll play down low a lot more, a little bit of Big Z with a little bit of in and out, you know.
You think that's what we're sold on Big Z, is that this is his transformation period from last year to this year. And his minutes kind of like they went up, then they went down a little bit. I wonder, because they're putting a lot of eggs in that basket, that this is the year that he grows into that mature role as a guy that can get 25, 30 minutes a game and can be a key component. And if that is the case, these other bigs you're getting, and not that they're targeting another 7-footer that I know of, that might make things pretty well. Of course, we don't know that until we get there, right? I mean, we don't know what he's going to be.
Do you want to say hi? I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good.
What's up?
Is this a dog or your kid?
It's a cat.
Oh, it's a cat.
Yes.
I had my pup was in here earlier. I don't know where he went.
What's up? What can I do for you? But yeah. I mean, did you hear about the surreal Samoto? Where it looks a little. I mean, like we all think in Georgia, but it was like a last second push where it seemed like Arkansas was actually like this much in the picture, but they said he didn't actually visit. So, and he's announcing. Did he? I thought he already announced, didn't he? Did he already announce he was supposed to?
He did. It always happens when I go live. They said that he did.
Well, he said he was. But that actually should have been an hour ago. So I'm sure he picked Georgia. Hold on.
Yeah, because he was.
Because you know what it is? I took a nap. I was going at it all day, and I took a nap and woke up, and then I saw Aidoo committed.
Yeah. Well, so Cyril, first off, the first red flag for me when I saw that he announced his final, it was Arkansas, Georgia in the NBA. You know what my first red flag was?
What?
That I didn't think he was coming here. I'm any player that uses that damn forward-facing hog, I don't think they're taking us serious. And I'm just going to say it right there. I don't think they're taking us serious. Anytime you see a player use that forward-facing hog, I'm just saying, I'm not taking them as serious. I don't think we're in the running.
Do we have a history? Do we have a calendar? Do we have a like an ongoing theme with people that don't like go to Arkansas to use that?
No, just me hating on the forward face. I don't know. I don't know what the history is. Maybe they are doing well when players use it. I don't know. It just, first off, that's already a logo that no one uses. No one uses it. If you buy merch right now, I'm not saying you can't go to the merch store and find forward-facing hog. You just don't ever see the forward-facing hog on display. You don't see it on display anywhere. And then when they roll out new jerseys, new combinations, you don't see the forward-facing hog. Hell, they took it off the collar for the football team. Remember, it was right there. They took it off.
Wait, when was that?
It was like when Pittman got here. That was one of the first things they did when they went back to the classic DMAC era jerseys. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, and Surreal, he committed to Georgia. I just went and looked. I figured that's what happened because I didn't see. I would have if I would have clicked one button and I would have knew that he was coming here if that was the case.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, now I've offended
I
somebody.
had an over under though last week that we was gonna get 2 or more recruits, and we ended up getting 2, and everybody thought it was gonna be over.
Yeah.
What's up, Nova? What can I do for you?
Yeah, Jonathan, I'm with you, man. That logo right there needs to be back at mid court. I'm just saying. I guess I
The
live in
slobbering?
yeah. I live in the past, I guess. I don't know, but I grew up with that. When you talked Razorback basketball, that's what popped in your head was that slobbering hog, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I
Really
like
can't be too
say
can't really
what?
be too upset with that. With no wishing for that because it's pretty much better than all the rest of them, though. This is something about the look.
It's my favorite look. It is. I love that slobbering hog. I love it.
Did we
Ty
get? Did
Bielema.
we get any? Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just going to read this. Bielema made the forward-facing hog with the stupid. Oh yeah, you remember the A sign? You remember that? Or no? Was that it? Because that always looked like a diamond to me. Pretty sure that was it. That's how they did it. That doesn't look like an A though. I don't know. Yeah, that was a Jeff Long thing. Jeff Long hired an outside graphic design team, and I remember at first when it came out, it was like, all right, well, that's something different. Okay, whatever. And then someone pointed out to me, wait a minute, that forward-facing hog looks like the boar from Lion King, and I could never unsee it, and it grew on me, and it didn't grow on me, but it made me hate it more and more and more and more. And now I just can't
Because
stand
of
it.
that one statement.
Well, but it's like when someone points something out, you can't ever unsee it. You don't realize it at first, and then you start to look at it, and then that's all you associate that image with. I'm just saying. Ty throwing up scissors. I don't know. That's what it was it not? They did that.
I'm glad I forgot.
I'm gonna throw up
I think what you just did the last one was the right one, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe that was it. That's no. Hold up now. That's DDP. That's the diamond cutter right there. Let's see. What's he saying? He who shall not be named is funny and pathetic. All in one, but man, I'm loving my Razorbacks. This is Brian Matthew Deaver. Okay. Trying to scroll up and find. Hate the forward-facing hog.
I'm sorry.
It looks like so many other logos. I don't know. I don't know. It just doesn't. And I think the thing too that gets on my nerves about it is it just doesn't look serious. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being. I've gotten to a point where I just can't stand it, and I have not seen them use that logo in a long time. Maybe I'm crazy. What do you think? So right now, technically, they have Aidoo, Zvonimir, or Big Z, Carter Knox, who's kind of a guard forward, Billy Richmond, who's kind of a guard forward, depending on how he wants to use them, and then Boogie's your point. These last 8 spots, what would you like to see them do? Do you want to see them go all in on guards from here on out? I know we're still waiting on some guys, but
no, not all guards. Because I really want Garrison as well. And then after that, I think you can kind of be easy on the larger center side of things. Even though you might be bringing in, is it Burks? Burks might be a silent commit already.
yeah, he's already. I'm pretty sure he's committed. I mean,
It's more like a silent one, right? That's what has been said. He's 6'9". So I think at this point now you want to get, some additional shooting, additional ball handling, high IQ guys. Maybe, and then maybe one more perimeter defender as well. Definitely a solid. Hello.
Wagner.
Oh, And oh yeah, I heard about that. We might be anticipating him because rumor has it is the Trojan did not do well up on the horse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, don't think there was no wow factor for him. So we're probably gonna see him on campus.
Oh, do it.
Only thing is he got to calm down a little bit though. He be playing wild. He be playing a little wild. Every once in a while he play wild. I'm like, calm down, slow the game down a little bit.
Yeah, DJ Wagner.
Yeah.
I was trying to pull up his so that would be because he's a combo or he's a point, right? He's a straight up point guard.
But you know what it is? He's a point guard, but he has a two mentality.
Yeah. We've had so many of them come through here over the years.
Yeah, but we've had some phenomenal ones. Listen, JD Note, I love you, brother.
Yeah, JD Note is him, bro. I caught so much heat about him.
And he did let us down. When it was crunch time, he ate like it was lunchtime.
He did, bro. JD Note was him.
Yeah.
Yeah, DJ Wagner, for anyone wondering, 6'3", 180-pound point. Kind of like Brim just mentioned, he plays like he wants to be a 2. I've seen a little bit of just like watching footage on him. He was a 5-star. He's a 4-star in the portal. He was a 5-star prospect. He was the number 1, according to 247, number 1 combo guard. Would be a big get, and yeah, USC was involved. So, we got John Goodman. Oh, what up, John Goodman?
Hey, what's up, man?
That's a legendary status member right there.
Yeah, I got your card, by the way.
Hey, there it is, baby. Awesome.
By the way, that is my favorite wide receiver of all time. I think he's probably the greatest Arkansas wide receiver of all time.
Yeah, it's hard. I don't know. I mean, Jarius Wright, Joe Adams, Greg Childs, Anthony Lucas, Marcus Monk. Say what you want about that whole situation with his brother, blah, blah, blah. He was really good here. There's been some good receivers over the years, but yeah, Burks is, I think, the greatest wideout to ever play here. And we're not just saying that because he was a first rounder.
I think you got to go back to the older era to give a comparison. There is one person that has an argument, but you got to go a little further back. I'm going to see if y'all can figure it out.
Hold up. At wide receiver?
I believe so.
Oh my God. I know who you're San Diego Charger. San Diego Charger, NFL Hall of Famer.
LA?
Yeah. Or well, yeah.
No, I know. I said initials.
Well, hold up. Who are you talking about? Lance Allworth. Oh my God, it just popped in my head. Yeah. I was right.
LA.
He's an NFL Hall of Famer. Yeah. Lance Allworth is probably the greatest wideout to ever play. Okay, but for my money though, I'm banking on Burks. But yeah, Lance Allworth. That's the card I want, man. I've been looking for his card, his player card at Arkansas. I've heard they've made one, and I can't find it. You know, these cards, the champion cards, where they printed nothing but Arkansas players. I cannot find his card. And I've looked and asked around. And these cards are in a lot of homes. Like a lot of OG Hog fans have these cards. It's Champions Gallery, I think. Is that right? Champions. Or maybe it's just Champions. I don't know. But yeah, supposedly there's a Lance Allworth out there, and I'd love to get it. I would not give that away. That would be mine. He was, yeah, you're right. Lance Allworth is in that conversation. Tyus Pops would have, he would have 110%. Anthony Lucas was great. Yeah, that was, for sure. Anthony Lucas was great, but I think Burks is just better. John, what do you got for us, man?
Well, man, I'm getting a little excited about the basketball team.
Yeah.
Got Big Z, 3 incoming transfers, and we pick up this kid from Tennessee. Man,
Pretty good.
Calipari's putting a roster. I wouldn't be surprised by the beginning of the basketball season, we're going to be one of the top 5 basketball teams in the country.
Are you talking about just like rank, like just like the preseason polls, or
preseason rankings? Top 5, possibly top 10.
This is already this roster's already loaded. It's top heavy right now because that's all you have is 5 commits or 5 guys on. But you could build a pretty good roster with just these guys starting here and then just filling out the rest. I hope they get Wagner. Brim and I talked about him. I don't know. Sounds like maybe, according to Brim, Arkansas might have a shot with him if things didn't pan out too well with his USC visit. But
I heard there was one kid we're trying to get out of. Was it UNC Wilmington?
Oh, shoot. Brim. Oh, crap. Yeah, I saw that too. Someone in chat's going to have to help us out. I know who you're talking about. Yeah. It was either Greensboro or Wilmington. Yeah, they offered him, I want to say a little while back. I want to say he was offered. I feel like he was one of those first 6 or 7 guys that they offered. Or maybe not. Tazarian White. There it is. Or Trazarian White. There it is. Yep. That's it.
I tell you one thing, personally, I'm really excited about these 3 incoming freshmen. I'm excited for Billy, and I've tape on him. He plays some solid defense.
Who's that now?
And, that's the key. Richmond.
Oh, Billy Richmond, yeah.
That kid, it looks really solid. And, key thing to basketball I've learned with one of our coaches over here, you got to play defense. Defense wins you championships.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I think, too, older teams. That's my only fear about Cal is that his reputation with building around freshman classes every year. Like the freshmen were that was the nugget, that was the center, right? The center of his roster was built around, not that he didn't have great upperclassmen, but I just, when you look back at his time at Kentucky, things started to go south for him when the portal became a thing, when NIL and the portal became a thing. How many tournament wins does he have? That's the thing that concerns me. So I think that because of that, and I think because of some of the skepticism and the success that we saw from us out of the portal, I think it's kind of forcing him to change his way of building a roster. But if there's anybody I have faith in who's going to change things up in a good way for himself and how he builds a team, it would be Cal. I mean, because he's going to attract anybody and everybody. Fayetteville is the center of attention. Every time there's an announcement, no matter what it is, if it's Arkansas basketball, hell, everybody's talking about it. Not just Arkansas media, but the damn country. So it's pretty exciting.
I'm curious to see how this affects our other sports. Football's roughly 5 more months away.
It's coming up quick. It'll be here before you know it.
I know. I'm excited for it. Speaking of Dominque Johnson, I didn't know he was transferring, but I think at depth at running back is really not going to hurt us too much because we've got a couple kids. We still got the Russell kid I seen in the spring game. He looked really good.
Yeah, he's got tree trunk legs. I mean, he's built. He looks ready to go. He certainly had that deer in headlights like all newbies do on campus in spring. I saw it last year with the transfers and what freshmen that were here. Now, these days, it's like 75, 80% of your class shows up for spring now. It's actually pretty exciting. But he had a little bit of that, but he still ran the ball well. He looked like what you saw on film with his highlight videos. And I knew as he continued to fight for carries through spring camp and in all the scrimmages, including the red, white, and the other 2 open scrimmages, the more he fought and the more he got reps, the more likely it was someone else was going to hit the portal. And Dominque Johnson would have been my first guess.
Right. I think offensively wise, this upcoming season with Bobby P back at offensive coordinator, I think we're going to be set on offense. Now, the key thing I think for football this year is how do we stack up on the defensive tackle position and at linebacker?
Yeah. You know, they're whiffing on guys. And, you know, someone asked me the other day, hi, why are these guys? We need these guys. Why are they not coming here? It's simply got to be an NIL thing. And I'm here to tell you it's not just NIL, although that has a huge part of it. And I love Deke Adams. He's one of my favorite position coaches. But let's just be real about the situation in Arkansas right now. The appearance is it's the Titanic. That's the appearance. And I don't know that new players want to come in and you know, want to hop on a sinking ship. I think that's and I can tell you there are some players, I've had some feedback that might kind of factor into their decision a little bit. That Arkansas is just not, it doesn't have that glow like an Ole Miss does, right? Like right now, Lane Kiffin does whatever he wants. Why? Yeah, they've got NIL, but because the appearance is they're on an upward trend. And as long as Ole Miss, as long as Lane Kiffin wants to be at Ole Miss, he's going to be at Ole Miss. The fear about Sam is he may not even survive 2024.
I think the key thing is going to be after the first game, we got UAPB on a Thursday in Little Rock, which I don't think we're playing in Little Rock anymore.
Yeah.
But after we get through that game, I've talked to a few buddies of mine, and they're saying the Oklahoma State game on the road in Stillwater will either make or break the season.
That's tough because I don't know what to make of Oklahoma State just yet.
I don't even know what they done last year. Were they any good?
Oh, by the way, this is Hogballer. Welcome. Thanks for calling in, man. Hogballer. Appreciate you, man.
You're welcome.
What did Oklahoma State do last year? Now, they beat Oklahoma. I do remember that.
Yeah, but that ain't saying much. Oklahoma really wasn't good last year.
It's not, but
I'll see if they're going to survive the ACC the first season.
They ended up, so they went, let's see, they had 3-4 losses. So they went 8-4 last year.
I think Texas will be all right, but Oklahoma, I don't know, man. I think it's going to be a rough year for them. I don't think they're nowhere ready for SEC ball.
Well, I mean, they're going to find out pretty quick why Lincoln
they couldn't be no worse than us.
Oh, no, yeah, no. I would put OU ahead of us.
Unfortunately.
Speaking of us, what y'all was just talking about a minute ago, you know what one of our biggest problems is? And I didn't think about it until earlier today. How many Arkansas kids is on our football team?
Oh, yeah, not very many.
No.
We've got 12 on scholarship.
Yeah.
Arkansas is not a football pipeline, unfortunately. More of a basketball pipeline.
Killed every bit of that. You don't have time to groom players on your team and wait for them to develop like you used to.
I don't even think it has anything to do with NIL. I just think it has to do with the talent pool within the state, the amount of people that's playing on that high of a level. Because you got to remember, the population of Arkansas is not gigantic. So the basketball-wise, it's kind of plush. Football-wise, it's not. You know,
well, I mean, if you go back and think, Brulesworth, I mean, that's one key player right there. He didn't even play until his sophomore year.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up being one of the best offensive linemen we've ever had.
Yeah. Out of Harrison.
I mean, all your kids like that now are having to go to UCA, lower schools, and then we can pick them up out of the transfer portal. We can't groom them on our team. We don't have time.
Well, and another thing that I pointed out several months ago, and I don't know how many great players have come from this state for Arkansas, but we know in general this is one of the best NFL producing states. And Arkansas, last I checked, doesn't have a single player from that state on their roster, and that's Louisiana.
Oh, wow.
We used to have our especially under Nutt and under even Bobby recruited Louisiana. Bielema did a little bit. I can't remember the amount of players from that state, but some of our better years are when you were flushed with Louisiana, when you had more Louisiana talent, whether they were from Monroe or, you know, wherever. If they're from New Orleans, in any of those towns in between. They had some really quality players come out of that state. And if you look at the most, when you talk about like per capita, Louisiana, I'm pretty sure is in a distant first place when you're talking about per capita. And it's not like that's a low population state, but they produce a lot of NFL talent. For whatever reason, Pittman just there's nobody on this roster, and I'm looking at it right now, and I think at the time we had maybe one player. So I think I don't know. I know they're all into Southern Georgia, and they like kind of floating around Florida a little bit. The basics, if we were going to talk just high school recruiting, which doesn't, I mean, these days it's just not what it used to be. We all know you get a kid, you're not even sure how long he's going to be here. But if you're going to recruit high school, to me, it's got to be your traditional pipeline. It's got to be Fort Worth, Dallas, the Fort Worth, Dallas area, Tulsa, Memphis, and then back down to Louisiana. But, I mean, does it even matter anymore? Maybe you just need to recruit kids out of the portal that are from Louisiana. I don't know, but that used to be a key state for Arkansas. They used to do really well down there. Maybe not like a key state, but they used to do pretty well in grabbing some of those kids that didn't get offered from Louisiana or from LSU.
So one of the main reasons why I got on here, I was wanting to answer your question you asked earlier about what we should get far basketball-wise. We have got to find us a veteran point guard. We got to have one. I mean, I know we've got a good high schooler coming in, but we have got to have somebody that does not turn the ball over and has been in big games.
Yeah, and you're going to ask a freshman to do that?
Yeah.
You're not wrong. Yeah, I'd like for them to go grab a veteran, at least a guy with a couple of years under his belt. Arky56 is correcting me. He's right. Oklahoma State went 10-4 last year. I forgot they played in the because their only losses, they did lose to South Alabama and Iowa State. They went on the road and they got just UCF crushed them 45-3, and they lost to Texas 49-21. And then they beat Texas A&M in their bowl game.
Better season than we didn't have in a long time.
Say what?
So that's a better season than we didn't have in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, right now I haven't even looked at. I don't even start really looking at rosters until about June. I mean, I get people asking me all the time about, what's Arkansas's chances. And I'm like, look, let me at least break down the rosters first. But at first glance, what little I know about Oklahoma State, I would take Oklahoma State plus 2-3 scores right now. I just would. First off,
2-3 scores. Wow.
Yeah.
You got them blowing us out.
I think it's right now with what little I know about Oklahoma State. Now, I know they've had some guys hit the portal and they got hit pretty hard here and there. It's not so much about Oklahoma State as it is Arkansas.
You think we're that bad, bro? I mean, listen, okay, well, you know what? I understand because the sentiment is leaning that way because I told you I was trying to be optimistic, but I'm really pessimistic on the season. So I'll say this about the Oklahoma State game. It can completely derail the season, but it doesn't mean we get a rocket ship. But I feel like it's a must-win considering how bad the season finished momentum-wise. Because I personally thought when we got to those last two games, I said he got to at least win one. And if he really wants good momentum, he had to win both of them. That's how I felt like if Pittman was going to be able to be successful, he's going to have to catch some type of momentum going into the offseason to have that type of support. And it didn't happen. And, Bobby P just happened to be hired to give you a little bit of that spark, but off of when you peel that away, that unfortunately is just not a lot of excitement there. It's like, okay, well, what are we gonna do?
Well, it's
you feel 5 and 6.
I do like Taylon Green. I like what's happening on the offense. I think their offensive line can't be any worse.
Our defense wasn't bad last year, though. Our defense kept us in most games.
Yeah, defense held their end of the bargain for a while. The defense did pretty well for the most part.
You know what the defense was? The defense was doing so well that the offense ruined the defense on the back end of the season. They got tired. They couldn't hang on. They on the field too much.
Yeah. Absolutely. I
Yeah.
completely agree with that. And everybody's making a big deal about the spring game. Yeah, I know we look good on offense in the spring game, but all that is like a celebration. They made it through camp.
Yeah.
You can't make heads or tails from that. It's made to make them look good.
I'll
It
say
always
this:
has.
if we get past Oklahoma State and get off to a 2-0 start, we get past UAB, we'll be 3-0 going to SEC play. We got Auburn at home. I think that's a home game. And then you got A&M coming up. You could possibly be 5-0, 2-0 in the SEC going into a huge game against
And no
LSU.
Alabama. No Alabama.
If that happens,
Well,
woo-hoo.
okay, so how it looks, right? UAPB's down in Little Rock. Oklahoma State's in Stillwater. Then you got UAB in Fayetteville. Auburn is on the road. It's not at home.
Right.
A&M is in Arlington, and then Tennessee's in Fayetteville, and then LSU's in Fayetteville.
So if you're 6-0 and 3-0 in SEC play going against LSU for the boot, that would be amazing.
It'd be great. I just
Yeah,
I'm not getting my hopes up for that, bro. I can't do it. I
don't
don't
get me
do it.
going
Let the
there,
Arkansas
there
football
ain't
do
no
it to me.
way.
Can't do it. Can't do it. I
I'm not
love
even-
him, but I can't get my hopes up on that type of start. If it happens, I'll do all
now
types of
listen,
backwards.
I will say this though: if we beat Oklahoma State, that could be a momentum catcher right there, and we could start getting on a streak. But I've seen us beat teams like that before, and then turn around and lose somebody we shouldn't lose.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Listen, I am an Arkansas fan. I've been there.
I feel like for the first time, as long as I can remember, maybe Chad Morris's second year.
Oh God.
I'm not comparing. Pittman is a far superior coach to Chad Morris. I'm not even going to compare the two. But in terms of excitement, I feel like football is really, it's like a gas station stop on the way to the true event, on your way to wherever the hell you're going on I-49. Like your true destination is basketball. It feels like football for the first time, maybe even because we had all these excuses lined up for year two for Chad. But it's still like the excitement I know because I was doing this. It's about the time I started doing post-game shows. And I was around the people. I was going to games. I went down to when they fired Chad Morris and Barry Lunny was the interim coach. I went down to Little Rock. Met up with a viewer down there, Tim. Shout out to him if he's watching. And hung out in Little Rock and kind of mingled with some fans here and there. And I'm up here, right? I'm up here in NWA. There was not that much excitement for year two. This for Morris, this feels similar to that, where football almost, I don't want to say it's a distraction. It's not the main destination. And I really don't know the last time I could say that. Maybe when Musk created all that excitement, when Musk going into his second year or his third year after coming off an Elite Eight run, maybe that had more to do. But both programs seemed to be on the rise at the time, right? So felt like we had everything at that point in time. Like, wow, football's on, it's coming back, and basketball feels like it's back. And then it feels like we ran over I don't know, we ran over some nails, and we've got flat tires. And we're on our way. We're trying to get to the real event, which is basketball. And that's a shame. It shouldn't be that way. And I don't want to give away. I don't want to sit here and lead everyone to believe that by September or excuse me, August, because we know they play August 29th against UAPB. I don't want you going into that thinking, well, Ty thinks Oklahoma State's going to slaughter us. By then, who knows? At first glance, what I know about Arkansas, which is way more than I know about Oklahoma State, there's just not a lot exciting me outside of maybe what Petrino can do with the offense in Taylon Green. I like Jaquindon. We talked about the running backs. I like him a lot. And how much Braylon Russell, a big-time 4-star running back, how much he'll contribute. I don't know. There's some assets there that you're excited about on offense, but the big picture,
don't forget about Broden.
Overall, and Broden.
Broden's a beast, man.
Broden and Armstrong both had really good spring camps, as did Isaiah Centennial. But again, and Luke has. I mean, we can go on about again. There are pieces about this team I really like. It to me, it's more about maybe it's about the guy in charge. I just don't know. I don't know what to expect. I really don't, and I'm not super thrilled about 2024. I'm just not.
Maybe we'll find out Landon Jackson on the defensive line out of this new freshman class coming in.
Yeah, I'm optimistic.
You said you're optimistic about the football?
I'm optimistic. I still have hopes that we're making a bowl.
I'm pessimistic.
I'm just taking it one game at a time.
I still
Amen.
trust Pittman. I don't know why. I just still do. I feel like he actually wants to be here.
Okay, hold on 1 second. I got to answer that. Him wanting to be here, I commend that because that's one important facet of anyone that you have coaching a team that you love. You want them to want to be here. But to be successful and to be able to execute certain things as a head coach, that you can, build confidence within your team, your coaching staff, and in the fan base. I can't hold on to it. It's like the rope. I let it go, and then somebody put it back in my hand and said, you got to hold on a little longer. So it's like,
I understand you feeling that way, but look at it from my standpoint. Look at it from my standpoint. I feel like all that happened last year was we missed on some transfers, like bad. We missed bad.
We better get ourselves a kicker.
Which is crazy because, he had a pretty good week of kicking that week in camp. He really did. He had probably his best week kicking the ball. And then, did not look good during the spring red-white scrimmage.
Let's just hope the Oklahoma State game does not come down to field goals.
Trust me, the Oklahoma State game is the last thing it's going to come down to, because if we don't score touchdowns, we ain't hanging with them, because that's all they do. They don't have defense.
Well, we'll see what's going to happen. I think offensively we might be all right.
Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Whoever scored the most.
Well, gentlemen, I got to go take care of somebody that's in my household that needs assistance by going and get some ice cream. So I bid you gentlemen adieu. Woo pig suey. Let's keep on kicking some butt. And ignore the Kentucky fans out there, y'all. Wait till we get all the players and then rub it in their face. Come on, man. You can't act like BBT, which is big blue tears. Don't act like them.
Hey, you can freeze them. They taste like blueberries.
Oh, big blue tears, frozen big blue tears taste
like the blueberry slushy. You can freeze them; they taste good.
I might have somebody to make an AI photo of that. Thank you, sir.
Hey, we're no longer BBN. We're BRN, the big red.
No, no, big red nation. I hate that. No, we're not biting them. No way. Big red nation is a red flag. No, don't do it.
It's copying off BBN.
Yeah, they're BBT. That's what I call them. Because that big, you know what? Use red blood. I love that. Forget the blue bloods. We red bloods. You know what I mean?
There you go.
We the red bloods. I'm cool with that, but the BRN, I can't get jiggy with it.
We can go with Red Nation. We ain't got to be.
No, don't even use the word nation. I'm cool old nation. All that. None of the nation, because it ain't gonna do nothing. I feel like McGruff is all biting.
I appreciate you calling in, Brim.
Have a good night, brother.
You too,
man.
Go Hogs.
There it is, unbiased Brim. He's the man. Always a quality call. You guys know he calls in on all the other shows. He calls in the radio shows, but I'm his favorite. I know I'm his favorite. Colin, I know that. So I can't pronounce this dude's name. Peanut Butter Posse. Is that what that's supposed to be? OK State's preseason top 10. Yeah, you're probably right. I don't know much about him. I've been so immersed in baseball and basketball. I take each year different, and what I do is come June, July. Well, maybe like late May, June, July is when I start really looking at rosters. And then because we've had the 2 portal phases, right? You now know what they have. I mean, you're not going to add elite talent in this part of the season, but there are some teams that do really well in the post-spring transfer portal. So I wait, and then I'll look at it and go from there. But yeah, right now I definitely would not favor Arkansas anywhere near over Oklahoma State. I just wouldn't.
Especially on the road.
There's been a couple of surprise people that went into the portal like last couple of days. I think there was a Texas running back that went in the portal.
Yeah, you're right. There have been some surprising. I saw that.
I think an Oregon defensive back went in the portal.
Alabama. I think Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama had
back.
one.
Yeah, we talked about him in Patreon chat. I had his. Well, I'm not gonna.
Arkansas has some pretty good luck with Alabama and Georgia.
Well,
portal guys.
They have, and Arkansas has actually done pretty well in the post-spring transfer portal. So that is true. But again, it's just another reason why I do typically wait until about, June to really dive into it. I'm going to tell you something with EA college football. I don't know if you two played NCAA back in the day, but
oh God, you won't see me. I'll be on it constantly.
Are we wearing the same shirt?
Maybe. You didn't
I think we're all wearing blue.
Oh no, we're all wearing blue. Oh,
I'll be back. I'll be back.
I gotta take this off. I'm gonna get hit by YouTube. Oh man. Darn it. I'm gonna have to start screening these calls.
Yeah,
I can't show the logo. We'll be copyrighted by Sonic.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely think that we need to get a veteran point guard, and I think we need to at least try to get a couple of power forwards.
Yeah, I mean,
whether they be tall or, even Big Z could play a stretch forward because he can shoot from outside.
Yeah, he can stretch the floor a little bit. Yeah, he can. He's the version of Connor that we never got, hopefully, right?
Now, Jonell Davis, what does he play? Is he a guard?
He's a why did you put me on the spot? Damn it.
I had he like a hybrid.
Pretty sure. Hang on, I have his
because I was wanting to say
I want to give you his whole. So he is a guard.
Okay.
But I'm trying to pull up his size. Because I can't remember if he was 6'6" or 6'4".
Thought he was a shorter guy.
Yeah, he is. He's 6'4", 203.
Okay.
He averaged 18 points, 6 boards, 3 assists. He kind of sounds more like a combo guard than he does anything. Yeah. And he's a junior, so he is older. And I think that's John L. has got to be a must get grab. For some reason I thought he was taller. I thought he was 6'6", 6'5", but I wanted to make sure. He's 6'4", 203.
The guy I hope we get is White.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that would be amazing if we could grab him.
Ross says he's a combo. Are you talking about John L? Yeah. Yeah, John L sounds like when you look at his numbers, especially the 18 points, 6 boards, 3 assists, that sounds like a combo. That sounds like a guy playing the one or the two. He's a scorer. He can score. He can do it all.
What's most important with him that I think we need, same with Aidoo, is they have deep tournament run experience. Both of them.
Yeah,
you cannot learn that. That's something that you're given.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, by going through it. You can't teach that.
Yeah.
Ty, do you know when the basketball schedule be announced? Possibly.
That's a good question. I don't know.
I know. Who do we play for this year? I know last year we played Duke in that SEC, ACC.
Well, they have
on the rotation.
So they have.
Well, there was a bunch of conference changing too, wasn't there? I think that messed it up.
Yeah, we won't. I don't think we get anything on the schedule until I want to say it's like June or July. I could be wrong. I don't remember when they unveiled last year's, but it feels like it was in the right dead middle in the summer, but I could be wrong.
Could you imagine if we have to play Texas at home this year for a conference game?
Yeah. Well, you could. Yeah. I think, is that not going to be a 2-game? Is that not one of our 2 games this year? Would that not be one? Because I know they made Texas and Missouri our baseball rivals. So
I thought they were doing our basketball schedule totally different this year, conference-wise.
they might be. I don't know. That stuff.
I thought it was like 2 divisions and
It feels like they changed stuff up,
every
so
year.
much.
I know
And
the
then-
Oklahoma game, I think, is going back to campuses. I think we're getting out of the BOK Center.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be in Tulsa. I think that is going to be home and home or whatever. Yeah. But last year, someone said about, you remember when they had what's his name? We were just talking about him. Wiretap Will Wade was on deck for Arkansas. And it certainly seemed like Will Wade was going to be the guy. And someone mentioned, since we're on the topic of schedules, someone mentioned, he has to serve like I don't know how many game suspension.
He would have to sit a whole year out.
Well, no, he didn't. It's not a year. It's like 8 games or something. And so anyways, the point that I was making was, but we scheduled in our first 10 games, you had Stanford, Memphis, North Carolina, and Duke and Oklahoma. So it kind of matters if you're bringing Will Wade that you have him available. Of course, that's so long ago. Who cares? We got the better end of that deal with Cal, no doubt. But yeah, speaking of schedules, who knows, what that will entail. Muss, when he was asked about it, he would get annoyed with the media, and he would say you'd have to ask their scheduling guy. I don't think it was the basketball SID. I think they have someone else who deals with the scheduling.
Was it Muss that always said, "I don't make the schedule"?
Yeah. But see, he would talk about too, like he wanted to go to Europe and he wanted tougher matchups. And I think he always told whoever was in charge of that. I don't think it was the basketball SID, but I could be wrong about that. Maybe it is the basketball SID, but he'd always kind of say, on the other hand, that he wanted these kind of matchups. And by the way, Mike Kaywood is the basketball SID. Oliver Grigg is the baseball baseball, and then Kyle Parkinson is football. So you have different SIDs for each. They're the guys who deal with the media, and they also kind of assist the coach when it comes to when they're talking with the media a little bit. So I don't think he was responsible for the scheduling, Kaywood, but so maybe that's still the plan moving forward, is they want these kind of matchups. Why wouldn't you, with the kind of roster, with the roster build that you're having, with the kind of talent and like what was said here just a little while ago, this could be a top 10, top 5 basketball team, by the time this roster is completely filled out. So why wouldn't you want to take on teams like Duke and North Carolina and even though Oklahoma is Oklahoma, but maybe you would want to schedule, well, they're SEC anyways, but Memphis and Stanford and teams
I was reading on X, Penny's trying to get a home and home with us.
Who is?
Penny Hardaway.
Oh yeah, with Memphis. Yeah. I hope that happens.
I hope we start playing them again. We used to play them all the time.
Some great games, yeah. Back in the day, there's some great games between Arkansas and Memphis, and that's they used to be a great recruiting ground for us too.
You know who stopped that too, don't you? Our coach.
Oh yeah.
When he came in, he didn't want us recruiting Memphis anymore.
Yeah. Shout out to Patreon supporters. You guys help keep this thing afloat. I appreciate all you guys that are a part of Patreon. Don't forget, legendary status members, you got a shot. This month's a big one. Autographed Alex Collins. Now, I do have some more autographed cards that I have not shown you guys yet that I just picked up. I'm really excited to show those off. This will be the $4 people who are the green names in Discord. You'll have a shot at Ken Hamlin in his Cowboy jersey, and then Joe Ferguson. That'll be for the $8 and up folk, or $8 people. So if you want to be on board with that, you got to sign up for Patreon. Shout out to Insurance Max, one of the show's sponsors. They've got a link provided for you down below. They offer business, personal, life, and health insurance along with retirement. They cover all four corners of our beautiful state of Arkansas. Give them a call. Their link, again, provided for you down below. Go check out their website. And Wes, who's in chat, tell them, hey, Ty sent me to you. And also, Direct Service Overhead, the garage door company, same-day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes, better than best results. Give them a call today at 501-244-3667. Shout out to me. I tell you what, Roger, you could shout yourself out by clicking that link and joining the call.
I tell you what's crazy, how fast baseball's flown this year. We only got 11 games left on the early season calendar.
Yeah.
Can you believe all these people that's yelling to fire Nate Thompson?
Oh, boy.
Man.
You're about to open up a big old can of worms right there. Someone go tag John Haas and all those guys in Discord.
Golly, man. I can't believe them.
Listen,
we're ranked number 2 in the nation. Why?
Listen, we can't sit here and pretend like hitting has been great.
It hasn't.
It's been bad.
It has not. How many runs are we scoring per game?
Oh, it's
averaging?
bad.
Especially when Hagen Smith's on the
almost
map.
7.
We're only getting 2-1 runs.
Yeah.
You know, listen to this stat. We're almost scoring 7 runs a game. I think it's like 6.7, something like that.
Is it? No, I don't know if that's right.
We're only allowing 3 runs a game.
So Arkansas, I can't do the math here. Runs scored is at 296. So maybe it is 7. I don't know. I can't do the math. You got to divide that by how many games played. But you know where that ranks, right?
Yeah, we're like 13th in the SEC. It's not great.
RBIs, they're 11th, which is actually a little higher than I thought it would be. Hits, they're at this print is so small. 384 hits on the year, which is 10th in the SEC. Batting average is actually a little bit higher than I thought. Or in terms of rank, I thought we'd be a little lower, but it's 10th with a team batting average of 271.
That is higher than the batting average for our last 2 World Series champs.
Is it?
259 is what Ole Miss was.
Well, I know the year Florida won, it was like not good. Their team batting average was really not good. The last time they won, it was really bad. But I think their slugging percentage was pretty good. Arkansas is 12th in slugging percentage at 449. And then their on-base percentage, which has got to come up. On-base has got to come up. They're at 391, which is 9th in the SEC. So I'm not saying they should fire Nate Thompson, but oh my God, like this team.
Well, honestly, to be honest with you, we really can't afford to. He's our best recruiter that we have on the team. Yeah,
that's the thing that people forget. He is the best recruiter on this staff, or at least so I'm told. But my thing is, Arkansas is a household name in baseball when it comes to high school baseball players or the transfer portal. It's a household name. You're top 5, top 10 every year. You're picked to make the College World Series every year. If you were to make a change from Nate Thompson, especially considering how well connected Dave Van Horn is, you're going to tell me you can't go out and find another a better coach who could help out with your offense. But I don't want to risk, because Nate Thompson has been so good in the recruiting area. And let's not sit here and act like he deserves 100% of the blame.
Oh, no.
Because you know what? their timely hitting this year has actually been pretty superb.
Yeah.
I mean, they're getting those late inning hits. They're moving bases in late innings. Now, they're horrible with runners in scoring position.
When we've needed to score runs when we were down, we've scored them.
Yep, they did.
Which makes absolutely no sense why we can't do that when we're 0-0.
They were down 7 runs in a midweek game to Texas Tech, came back and won that game. I mean, I don't care if you're Tennessee, Georgia with their hitting. I don't care who you are. That's hard to do.
We got to figure out what's wrong with Diggs, man.
Yeah, Diggs is.
I think he's hurt.
0 for 10 against Florida. 0 for 10.
Yeah, he's struggling. He's struggling. He's got to catch fire, and I hope that's really all this is that this team is, hopefully they catch fire at the right time in May and June when it matters. Right now, it's like, yeah, we're still winning. That's all that matters. The timely hitting in the mound or the bullpen has been excellent. Maybe some of the best timely hitting we've seen in a while, and the best pitching I think Dave has ever had. I don't know. I mean, that's.
If we can make it to Omaha, the team we've got right now can beat anybody at Omaha.
I think so. I mean, again, it depends on who's on fire and who's not. It's like when NC State, we thought
Arkansas runs that you're seeing in the SEC matchups, they don't go out at Omaha. That's a pop fly.
Yeah.
The wind always blows in from that field.
Yeah.
You've got to crush one to hit a home run there.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping everything comes together when regional play starts.
The pitching can carry you so far.
I just hope we don't get screwed in the regionals.
Well, I didn't like that. The one from I think last week that had like
Dallas Baptist coming there.
Oklahoma State.
I do not want to see them in the regional.
That was a little, and I made a mistake. I said a couple of weeks ago Arkansas had beaten Oklahoma State. I got the wrong black and orange team. We'd beaten Oregon State, yeah, Oregon State down in Texas, not Oklahoma State.
Oregon State's better than Oklahoma State. So actually,
yeah, they are. But I wouldn't want to. I just wouldn't want them. I think Arkansas would win that regional, but that'd be a tough one. That would be really tough.
I don't want to see them in a regional.
Yeah, me either.
No North Carolina, nothing
being
like that.
Crazy is if we was to come out of it.
Say what now?
Like if we come out of regionals and going on to the supers at home, are we going to face another SEC team, or are we going to face a future SEC team?
Whoever they put us with. That's what's crazy about all this is we're stuck with whoever they pick.
Yeah,
we got screwed last year bad.
Yeah.
There's no reason why we should have got stuck in that.
There was no bueno. This is though, when you look at the teams that make it to Omaha, the majority of them have crazy good bullpens. They have crazy good arm talent. And they've got really good. If you look at their team ERAs, I saw someone break that down a few weeks ago about some of the teams that had really good, promising ERA numbers, or the other way around. Their regular season wasn't so hot if you look at their numbers, but their regional play and their Omaha pitching was crazy good. And with Arkansas's, with the arms, I mean, who was it, Fouch, that came out and threw 100 miles an hour on 3 straight pitches? Or
Flannery came out and struck out dude, man, that hadn't struck out in like 20-something games.
That's crazy.
I tell you one thing, that pump fake on the game doubleheader I've watched baseball my whole life. I have never seen a pump fake throw out from outfield.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being that dude that was on third?
But he caught some hell.
He didn't play the next game.
Oh, did he not?
They kept him out of the lineup.
I must have missed that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get a chance to watch Game 3.
He done something else in that game, too. I can't remember what he done.
I couldn't watch Game 3 because ESPN locked me out. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just try to listen to the game. That's right. Yeah, I couldn't watch the game. I don't know what the hell was going on with ESPN, but it would not pull the game up.
You wouldn't have want to watch it anyway.
Yeah.
That was a bad game.
Well, I told my wife, I was like, I got stuff to do, so I'll just try to. We already won the series. I mean,
Was it Mason Molina was the starter pitcher for that game?
Well, he was supposed to be for.
He was hurt.
Yeah, and
Really?
Tiger pitched game 2.
Game 3 started off with what's his name? He's
Bybee, wasn't it?
yes, Bybee started off, and I don't think he went that far.
Yeah. No, I don't think he did.
Well, we've got 2 midweek games left. Get a good tune-up.
I'm going to one of them.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I've already got my tickets bought.
Wait, for Missouri State?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It had to be the Hog Pen because there's no seats in the stadium.
Yeah.
I couldn't find a ticket.
Yeah.
That's crazy when we're sold out for Missouri State.
The series this just to win the SEC overall title. Because we're tied.
Yeah. Appreciate the DM, Justin Williams. Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited.
Are we tied
baseball.
for first place?
I'm sorry.
We're tied now for first place. I thought A&M lost their last game with Georgia.
Yeah, we're 1 game ahead of A&M for the West.
Yeah, I thought we was up 1.
Yeah, and Kentucky, right, has the best win-loss.
Yeah.
Who you got to play at Lexington. Is that not going to be wild?
Oh, my God. That's going to be a series now.
It's going to be crazy. And I mean, I don't know how much the baseball team really gives a damn about what's going on with basketball, but the fans are going to be feeling it. They want Arkansas's blood. Whether they want to admit it or not, they want Arkansas's blood.
I guarantee you during the game, if it's showed on the SEC network, there will be John Calipari signs in the stands.
Oh, yeah.
How much you want to bet?
Yeah. It's going to be wild.
Well, all 3 games are on SEC Network Plus.
Oh, yeah. I can still stream it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they're all
which doesn't make any sense. You got the 2 best teams in the SEC. Why can't they be on national television?
Every game left except Mississippi State. Mississippi State, for whatever reason, you get game 3 on the SEC network, but game 1 and 2, according to ArkansasRazorbacks.com, it's on SEC Network Plus. And then A&M, they're all A&M. The number 1 team in the country. I'm assuming they will be because their schedule's pretty damn soft from here on out. I don't know where Arkansas is going to be. They've got some tough series coming up, but or this one with Kentucky is going to be really brutal or tough. But you've got 2 of the premier teams this year, and Arkansas is premier every year. Let's just be real. On the road in at College Station, and that's on SEC Plus, not at least ESPN, the Deuce, or you. Or
they're probably showing a premier softball game or something during that time. I don't get why they do that.
I've got all the love of the world for women's sports.
I do too.
I feel like more eyeballs are going to watch the 2 top teams in the SEC battle it out, especially at College Station. They can get pretty wild over there. It'd be way crazier at Baum. Don't get me wrong, but. Anywho, I think we're going to close it out. I haven't eaten dinner, and I'm pretty sure my wife has opened the door twice now, giving me looks. I need to hang this thing up. I appreciate you guys for calling in. John Goodman, congrats. You want to show that card off one more time?
Here it is, baby.
Patreon. Oh, Traylon Burks. Autograph.
Do it. I'm promoting you, Ty. Do it.
There you go. Legendary status. That's how we got it. And you'll have an opportunity.
That's my NFL team right there.
You'll have an opportunity if you're legendary status. You got a shot at winning this Alex Collins autographed card. And we've got some other cards for giveaways as well. So, again, check out Patreon. Link is provided for you down below. Again, shout out to the sponsors, Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company, and Insurance Max. All you guys combined, you helped this thing stay afloat. And I do appreciate that. Again, thanks to John Goodman and Hogballer and, of course, Unbiased Brim for calling in. And I will see you guys probably pretty damn soon.
Definitely.
Appreciate you, boys.
Good night.
You too. All right. Yeah, so that will do it. Appreciate you guys again on your way out. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, like and share, all that good stuff. yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys probably by Wednesday. I'm assuming if we have some breaking news, you guys know I will do my best to cover it. All right? Okay. I will see you guys when I see you.
At Direct Service Garage Doors, we are your one-stop shop for all things garage door. From garage door repair and broken spring replacement to new garage doors and openers, we do it all. We're proud to be among the highest-rated local garage door companies in all of Northwest Arkansas. Our highly trained technicians are available 24 hours a day at no extra cost to you. So if you have an emergency, call us today, 479-203-5880, or visit our website at directservicenwa.com. Don't wait days. We'll fix it now.